Hello, my friend. Today I want to give you 17 time-saving, time management tips that will help you to increase productivity in your life. Welcome, my fellow time management enthusiasts, to today's video. If you're anything like me, you often wonder how some people manage to cram so much productivity into the day while you're still trying to find your phone charger. Well, fear not, because I have a whopping 17 tips and tricks that I'm going to share with you today that will help you master the art of time management. So grab a pen and paper or whatever works for you and let's dive right in. Now remember, it's not about following every single tip, but choosing the ones that work best for you. Oh, and don't forget, hit that like button and subscribe. All right, number one here. Audit your time. First things first, we need to figure out where all of your precious time is going. I mean, it's like budgeting, but for minutes instead of dollars. So you might want to use an app like, Rescue Time, and I have no affiliation of that, that will help you track your activities for a week and brace yourself for the shocking revelation of your Facebook scrolling or TikTok habits. Now, me personally, I just use a spreadsheet or I have just a text app in my phone, and that's kind of how I do it. But, whatever works for you. There's all kinds of different ones. All right, next one here. Number two, gamify your tasks. So make tasks more engaging by setting time limits and grouping those similar tasks together. It's like turning work into a game where you race against the clock and then suddenly, that email inbox doesn't seem so daunting anymore. And if you're anything like me, you've got an inbox with over 100 items in it, and I can't stand it when it gets there. And so I feel more comfortable when I have it whittled down to less than 30, but it just likes to keep, getting up to 100, and then I knock it back down, but I'm not the worst. I know some people that have over 1,000 items in their inbox, and that's just unmanageable, and it's crazy, and I hope that's not you. Okay, let's move on here to number three. Create a to-do list for large projects. You see, big projects can be overwhelming, but when you break them down into smaller tasks, we call that chunking, that will make them so much more manageable. Plus, who doesn't love checking off boxes on a list? It makes you feel good to just go through and just say, check, check, done, done, done. But if everything is just in one big chunk, there's nothing to check off until you're all the way done, and then you never get that feeling of progress throughout. And that's really what builds happiness, is while you're making progress through something, through anything. Okay, number four, plan your following day. You see, before you leave work, take a few minutes to plan your most important tasks for the next day. That way, you can hit the ground running without spending half the morning wondering what you're supposed to be doing. Number five, knock out the big stuff first. Tackle your most important or challenging tasks first thing in the day, and that way you'll feel way more accomplished, and you'll be able to breeze through the rest of your to-do list. Plus, you'll have more mental energy to deal with all those unexpected surprises. Now, for me, I always knock out my big stuff in the morning because that's when I have the most energy. That's when I do a lot of the creative things. That's when I think about how I'm going to create these videos, or I'm going to write books, or I'm going to create projects. That's when I have the most mental energy, and that's when I tackle the biggest things. And then in the afternoon, I do stuff that doesn't require as much mental energy because I'm not as sharp as I was in the morning as I am I'm not as sharp as I was in the afternoon as I was in the morning. And right now it's afternoon, and you can tell I'm not very sharp. Okay, let's move on here to number six. Clear your plate. If you can delegate tasks to someone else, do it. I mean, it might be hard to let it go, but you'll be amazed at how much time just gets freed up for you. Plus, you'll be helping others develop their skills, making it a win-win situation. Okay, moving on here to number seven, be present. In today's world of constant distractions, it's important to stay focused on the task at hand. By giving your full attention to one thing at a time, you'll actually save time in the long run. All right, moving on here to number eight, change it up. If you're struggling with productivity, try adjusting your schedule to match your natural energy levels. I mean, are you a morning person? Start your day earlier to make the most of your productivity. I know some people who do their best work in the evening hours, and in the morning, they're just a disaster. So you have to know what works for you. All right, moving on to number 9. Give yourself some grace. Remember, it's okay to take breaks and recharge. You have to recharge. You should literally be recharging every 1 to 2 hours. Allow for some wiggle room in your schedule and don't beat yourself up if things don't go exactly as planned. And when I recharge, for me, recharging is every 1 to 2 hours, I will just take a mental break and I'll just close my eyes for a few minutes and just close out all the distractions, and that charges me up. All right, moving on to number 10, follow the Pareto principle. This principle states that 80% of the results come from 20% of your efforts. So focus on the most important tasks first, and you'll see a greater return on your time investment. Number 11, use a digital calendar. Embrace the digital age and keep your schedule organized and online. It's easier to access, update, and share with others. Now, I keep my schedule private, but it is online, but it's just online, for me to access, even though it's an Excel spreadsheet. All right, number 12, don't be a perfectionist. Perfect doesn't exist. So save yourself the stress and just aim for good enough. You'll be amazed at how much more you can accomplish when, good enough is your motto. All right, moving on to 13, learn to say no. Knowing when to say no is crucial for maintaining a healthy work-life balance. So prioritize your tasks and let go of the less important ones. And say no to some of those emails where people are coming in and trying to steal your time. Just say no, unless it's your boss. All right, moving on here to number 14, build keystone habits. So what I mean by that is develop habits that have a transformative impact on multiple areas of your life, like exercise or daily planning. These habits will set you up for success in the long run. Number 15, stop waiting. Use those inevitable waiting times to do something productive instead of just mindlessly scrolling through social media. Try listening to a podcast, reading a book, or brainstorming ideas for your next project. If you're in the car, obviously I hope you're not scrolling, but that's a time I like to use what I call net time, which is no extra time, where I'll listen to, podcasts, seminars, personal development speakers, whatever it is, something more productive than just, the radio or music, though I do, relax once in a while. We're all human. All right, number 16, telecommute. If your job allows it, consider working from home, especially in this day and age. There are a lot of people are allowed to work from home. So if you could do that, do that. Just think of all the extra time that you will have to be productive or, to catch up on your favorite TV shows. But don't do that while you're working. Number 17, find inspiration. Seek out the things that inspire and motivate you. Whether, it's a good TED Talk, a book, a news story, a movie, and use that newfound inspiration to supercharge your productivity. And there you have it, my friend. 17 tips to help you conquer time management and boost your productivity in your personal life and, in the work life. They go hand in hand. The more productive you are in your personal life means, the more productive you're going to be in your work life as well. And then somewhere in there, you get this work-life balance thing. So they say. Or let me know if it works out for you. Remember, it's all about finding what works best for you and making it a part of your daily routine. And what works for me isn't necessarily going to work for you, and vice versa. We all have, our own schedules, we're our own beings, and we all have certain things that we like and that we don't like and that we're willing to try and not try. So find out what works for you. So now it's your turn, my friend. Let me know in the comments below which techniques that you're planning to try. At least, pick one or two, and then share it. And let me know how it works for you. And then after you pick one and you try it and you've done it for a few weeks, then maybe you do another one, and then do another one, and do another one, and just do one more. And before you know it, you are going to be a master of your own time management. All right, my friend, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hey, give it a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. And subscribe. And that way you'll get notified every time I release a new video. I'll see you next time, my friend.